Hey, my name is Lauren McCoy, and I'm going to be talking about Russia today. So to start us off, we're going to listen to a little Russian.
Привет, как дела?
So that means hello, how are you? I would have done that myself, however, I don't think it would have sounded as good as that. I decided to interview a coworker of mine, Yulia Ben, and she is from Crimea, Russia. That's where that's located at. And so according to Yulia, she says that education over there is a little bit different. They don't really promote college over there. They promote more tech schools. So if you're going to be a hairdresser or a mechanic or a baker, then you would go to a technical school just to learn those skills instead of college. Another thing that she states is that they start taking English or German or English or French over there. And those are mandatorily started teaching in 5th grade. And we do that here too, but they choose these languages because they're the most popular over in Russia. So per a study of Russian.com from 2016, Russia actually has a long-standing tradition in high-quality education for all citizens. And so they're actually probably one of the best mass education systems, is what they were saying, in the world. And they produce a 98% literacy rate, which is actually exceeding most Western European countries. So that was pretty interesting because she actually said that they don't gear college, but they do promote a lot of that basic education, which sometimes some of our students here don't always go to basic school. So they promote that education, and they have a split education. So it's either basic education or ongoing higher education. So they always want to make sure they at least get educated, even if it's just for the minimal literacy. So according to Yulia, for healthcare, I wanted to learn about healthcare because I'm a nurse and the differences between Russia and America. So she said healthcare is actually free over there. However, you pay for everything else. So if you have a surgery or you have a broken arm, they'll give you a list of what you need to buy. You would go to the pharmacy and pick it up, all your cast materials, your medications, before you would get anything done. So it does cost a little bit of money in that sense. So the nurses would wait till you would buy your medicines to be able to administer them to you. Also, they expect bribes or gifts over there, and it's something that they just kind of expect from their patients because they're doing their surgery for free, per se, that you're not paying for it as a consumer. But so if you give them money, you're saying thank you for doing that surgery, and that's something that they kind of expect. They also work different shifts. We work 24-hour or 12-hour shifts here. They work 24-hour shifts there, so they can sleep on the job. They have little pagers that will go off whenever they need to go to a surgery or give a medication or check on their patients. So it's a little bit different in that sense over there also. So according to Martin Hill from the Decoded website in November 2013, Florence Nightingale's work in the British Army hospitals during the Crimean War would form the foundation of modern nursing. And this was really interesting to me. I've heard about Florence Nightingale before. Obviously, I'm a nurse myself. But it was interesting to see that it linked also with Russia, and that's kind of where her professional nursing career started. So, fashion. Let's talk a little bit about everyday life. How would you take out your garbage if you were leaving your house? I know I would wear my pajamas and some slippers, right? In Russia, they're very fashionable. So you would not go out of your house without your high heels, your dress, your full makeup on, and that's how they are over there. They're very fashionable. So these are just some of their examples of their fashion. So today's fashion, however, due to the hostility that's been going on between Ukraine and Russia, or Crimea, they had a little bit of a change this year. So they had a different fashion show. So I'm just going to let you guys watch just a little clip of their new fashion line that they have going on. Interesting the difference in their fashion of the previous slide compared to this slide of what they're doing now. And they've got kind of done that as a kickoff against Russia and what's been going on between them. So there is a bit of an increase in violence lately due to this situation. She said that there's a lot of violence. If you leave anything sitting around, it would get stolen. So you have to be very careful about your money and your wallet when you're walking around. Customer service is really different too. So if you go to a grocery store, you know, we're very customer satisfaction. We want to please our customer here in America. But over there, if you touch something at the grocery store, they expect that it's been dirtied by you and no one else is going to buy it. So they want you to pay for that. So you have to not touch anything unless you're willing to pay for it. So the next thing, this is kind of funny. So you think of bathrooms, public restrooms here in America. We have toilet paper, toilets, God knows, tons of them, right? So over there, bathrooms are a little bit different. You pay for public restrooms, and they're not toilet seats. You actually just hover over a potty in the floor. And so when you go in, you'll pay your money, and you'll get a little sliver of toilet paper, and you would go in and use the restroom. There's no toilet paper in the bathroom either, because it would get stolen. So also restaurants. Oh my gosh, how many fast food restaurants do we have here in America, right? Everywhere. So in Russia, McDonald's is actually considered a fancy restaurant. You want to take your family out to a restaurant and spend a lot of money, go to McDonald's. They're very family oriented. They eat their meals at home. So for holidays, friends over, they're very hospitable when they have guests. They cook really large meals. They give you anything out of their refrigerator. So in that sense, they're very friendly. And then the other thing is they drink a lot of alcohol. You go to the stores and there's like 100 different types of vodka that you can choose from. So they do drink a lot more over there than here in America. Celebration and holidays. So just the difference in those. So Christmas and New Year's over here, we celebrate Christmas the 25th and New Year's is on the 1st. So they have the same thing, but Christmas is just celebrated as the birth of Christ, and New Year's is actually when they celebrate their Santa Claus, or what they call him is Father Frost. So this is Father Frost over there, and Snow Maiden, which is actually Santa's granddaughter. And they celebrate everything on the 1st. So all the kids get to stay up until midnight, just like they would on the 1st. They dress up like it's Halloween in their costumes, and they get their presents on New Year's Eve. So they don't really celebrate Christmas like we do here. They do not have Mother's Day or Father's Day. They have Women's Day and Men's Day. So they celebrate all women and all men on different days. And even if you go to grade school, everyone is expected to bring you a gift on those days. Like if it's Women's Day, all the women get gifts in the classroom. If it's Men's Day, it's the same thing. So they don't celebrate Thanksgiving. That's more of an Americanized holiday. And they don't celebrate Halloween. But we've talked in our intercultural class about how mass media can affect all countries. And so America is starting to rub off on Russia, and they actually have started to celebrate Halloween a little bit. So they're dressing up and passing out candy on Halloween at times. So, in short, okay, according to Adichie from TED Talks, I don't know if any of you have heard of that before, but we watched it in our class. In July 2009, a single story can create stereotypes, which may be true, but is an incomplete information. So a single story robs you of dignity and only looks at our differences instead of our similarities. So stories can actually break and repair our dignity, but we have to choose which one it's going to be. So I just want you guys to not make this the only story that you listen to about Russia, because you can learn lots of information from different stories. And then in conclusion, I just want to listen to a little bit of Russian music to lift our spirits here. All right, so then I'll just let you guys tell me how it went.
The two positives, I think, used your hand gestures well. It wasn't too many of them, and I really liked how you had the visual aids and the videos in it. I guess that made it a little bit more interesting. Things you could work on. I guess not reading exactly from the slides, because we can read that. And then the second one would be, I'm going to use the talking too fast one. Seemed like you were rushed.
I thought you had a lot of information, and that was really good. I think it was an organized presentation. I'm going to go along with her. I think you presented it a little bit fast, and I actually thought you had too many hand gestures.
And I had the opportunity to see your last speech, and compared to that, actually, I was going to make note that today it seemed like it was more slowed down, more controlled compared to then, so it's interesting to hear the difference. I thought you had the material organized very well and knew your material very well. It was very clear that you had those things down pat. As far as a couple of critiques, that there were some transitions where you used or so, and probably could leave those out, when you are more comfortable. If you practice more, you probably could leave those out. And then, with the material on the screen, you have the information that's there that we can see already. Let us read that, and that will let you focus on your material more. But overall, very good.